kick low, knocked over as he got the kick away too, by the way. And down, and there's a penalty goes to the Hunters. It was considered to be a late tackle. Just came in a little bit late there on Boas, Watson Boas. What I like about the Tigers tonight has been so much control, but then when they strike hard and fast. You know, there's been brilliant speed and execution of their big plays, but the sense of the 80 minutes generally has been good control.
Yeah, no, they look very sharp, and as we discussed at half-time, Billy Walds is out of that dummy half. He's played a lot of away from dummy half in the second half, but he has sparked this side with some very good play at both dummy half and in the halves.
So playing it back as pup, and working away on the left-hand edge for the Hunters.
Lost it.
Lost the ball though. That's disappointing for them. They're going to go away pretty much empty-handed tonight.
Yeah, only one try by the Hunters, so they will be disappointed. But you've got to give, again, we've given a lot of big raps to the Tigers' attack. But defensively, they have been far better than anything I've seen them do this year. At the risk of being overcritical, I think their defence sometimes this year has been soft. But today it has been strong, resilient and determined. And that's a good indication of it. 3 players shutting down a player near the try line as he's trying to offload. That's a good sign and pretty typical of what we've seen tonight. The Hunters have not been given too many opportunities.
I think it was Mackenzie Yeh couldn't hang on to the ball on that last occasion. Here's the Tigers inside their own 20. They haven't been there very often tonight. Grote has been strong, hit and spin, can be effective. Good tackle on this occasion. Svensson. No, it's not Svensson, in fact, that was Egan. Walters. Iono. He's been pretty effective since coming on.
Gives him a bit of size too, Warren. He's a big man.
Walters, dummy half. Drinkwater. He hits and spins, and he's through. Away goes Drinkwater. Tried to step, lost his footing. Boy, he could see that he was going to be challenged for speed. Tried to change direction. Look out. Croft. Oh, intercept, and away they go. Here's a chance, and no, they're not going to catch him. That's brilliant running from Watson Boas. He is flying. The halfback running like a 3/4. Didn't he stride out Watson Boas?
Well, Brodie Croft took the odds to that. The defence was rushing up on him. He dodged around and thought, well, he knew he had a lot of support on the outside. Originally, he'd positioned himself at that part in the ruck because he just wanted to fire it out. He had some defence rushing on him, had to do a bit of a step, and then thought, well, I still know you can see exactly what goes through his mind here. There's Drinkwater. The other thing that stopped Drinkwater was the fact that he did slip over. Have a look at this. Pressure on Brodie Croft. Steps around. Knew he had the men on the outside. But Boas, the very experienced Hummel, played for Papua New Guinea a number of times, races away. Read it beautifully. And Brodie Croft, I guess, if there's ever a time to throw a pass like this, it's when you've got the game well and truly in the bag. He thought, oh, we might get another try here, but Boas had different ideas. And he races away to get their second try for the match. And the Tigers, well, if it had gone to hand, it could have gone a try the other end.
And Boas will attempt to convert his own try right in front of the post, and he lands the goal. Good conversion by Watson Boas, as you'd expect, and so a little bit of late joy for the PNG Hunters. But they have been defeated by the East Tigers. Final score 30 points to 12. The Tigers, who led 16-2 at half-time, have gone on with the job in very impressive fashion. Back-to-back wins for the Tigers, coming on the back of 4 losses. So it's a real turnaround in the East Tigers season here on Tiger TV tonight. And the PNG Hunters, well, they lose a bit of momentum after winning 3 in a row. They suffered their first loss and weren't really in the contest here against the Tigers. So they'll both finish on 12 competition points at the end of this game. And the Tigers will be in front of them on for and against. And from the Tigers' point of view, they'll be looking forward to climbing the ladder. by a number of number of places by the time the weekend's out. So a very good win to the Tigers, 30 points to 12. And Coach Scott Sipp will be really pleased with the way they, not just with the fact they won and won well, but the way they won. I think he'll be pretty happy with all of that. If we look at the try scorers, Port got a couple, McAnally got a couple, Carey scored as well, and Michael Egan scored tries.
On behalf of the Eastern Suburbs Class Players and Officials
3 goals.
Association, we award the best back.
Hey Warren, I'm sorry mate. I'll try and get a couple of these players over to have a bit of a chat to them, so I'll let you know once I got that happening.
Thanks, mate. Well done, Link. And today's best score to the Class Players and Officials Association goes to number 10.
So I think we were hearing from Gavin, and we seem to have lost communications, unfortunately, again with Gavin, but nevertheless, a few words there from Gavin, summing up, I'm sure, what he would have been very impressed with this performance by this East Tigers side tonight. Couldn't have done much more against pretty credible opposition. I know that the Hunters haven't been setting the world on fire this season, but they were still in front of the Tigers. David. Beautiful backline play.
Yeah, very impressive. I think they really turned their season around from what I've seen from the previous weeks. I think their attack was always threatening, but now it's clicking, and I think the fact they scored all those tries
at Suzuki Stadium will be against the Capras on Sunday, the 17th of June.
You suggested as well, Warren, you can't have a back line working like that unless the forwards are doing their job. So I think as an attacking unit, they are really doing their job. But then probably I'm most impressed by the improvement in their defence. I don't think they've been strong in defence. They needed to be today. They needed to be today because this is a strong, powerful side. If you play Papua New Guinea, you know it's going to be a big, hard game. And unless you contest it in that physical sense, you're not going to win. And for them to win under these conditions, I think is a real point, as I see it, that they have turned the corner. And what, as you know, Warren, what it will really do is lift their confidence. They would have got a lot of confidence out of last week. Anytime you score 50 points against a good side like Wynnum, with minimal points scored against you, you know you're a side that can threaten. And then to put it back to back, that is so good. First time they've won back-to-back games this year, the Tigers. So I won't say that they're there yet, but I'll tell you what, it's looking good.
Yeah, very good. And you'd look at the try scorers, as I meant. Two to Linkport on the left wing, 2 to McAnally on the other wing, or right wing, I should say, then left wing. 1 to Connor Carey out wide on the right-hand side, and then Michael Egan scoring. He might be a second rower, but he scored this try wide on the left-hand side. Each of those tries scored right in the corner and indicates where they were attacking to. I mean, they were really scintillating through the hands to both left and right. Made it difficult for Brodie Croft trying to convert the tries, but you take 4 points rather than even if you can't get 6.
And I'd give the coach a lot of credit too, Warren, because this is what game plans are about. You have a look at your opposition and you say, well, how are we going to get points here? What strategy will we adopt? Well, you have a look at that Hunter side. It's hard to go through them. They are very strong defensively. They do, I won't say they overstack their defensive line, but they certainly, as most sides do, stack their defensive line, so it's hard to go through. So if you can't go through, what are you going to do? You go around, and I thought Drinkwater was used excellently there. He's one of those very handy fullbacks who can loop around and then time his pass to outside support. That's the 40-20. That was a very important part in the game. It was probably, I'm guessing, around about 15 minutes into the second half. Booming kick, and that can put you on the back foot. The penalties also will put you on the back foot. I don't know what the final penalty count was, but I'm sure East were the beneficiaries of most penalties. So it did... this was a knock-on. It looked like the Hunters might score, but it was called a double knock-on, I think. But the first one by the Tigers.
Hey Warren, you got me there, boys.
The Hunters.
That's Simon diving for the line, but
was the penalty.
Ruled that the man playing the ball had knocked the marker over. A couple of tough decisions there, 50-50s that went against the Hunters.
Yep.
60-40s maybe.
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Can the boys up the top hear me?
Chase Blair trying to go through the line on that occasion. We've got Gavin now down there on the sideline. Gav, over to you.
Yeah, g'day boys. I just got Jared McAnally, East captain. Jared, pretty good game this afternoon. You obviously got away to a good win and starting to strike a little bit of attacking form at least.
Yeah, I think at the start of the game we were fairly sloppy. I don't know how much we completed, but it was very pleasing that we put it together. And pleasing now we're 2 on the trot, which we haven't done all year. So yeah, looking forward to next week.
Was probably other than intercept, certainly would have been the defence.
Yeah, our online defence. How many efforts we deflected from our try line, but it was really pleasing. Our forwards are doing a great job in there, and we're just not giving up on each other, which is awesome.
Yeah, you mentioned the forwards. I was particularly impressed with Matt Gray, Jack Svensson and Grenke starting to do a little bit through the middle there and really putting that groundwork in so that you guys can score those tries out wide. Yeah, them three are a bit massive for us. It's been sort of just trying to get that click together with them three. They're punching out some massive minutes. Sveno and Grenke are unbelievable what they do, and Grody comes on with that impact, and he's got a great offload, which is really helping us, our backs and everyone pushing up on that ball. You personally, a couple of good tries this afternoon and are heavily involved in a third. You must be starting to come into a bit of form and happy with your form. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably the captaincy that's brought out a bit of form in me. It probably shouldn't be like that, but I have been, I don't know, an extra effort trying to just get the boys up, and yeah, the couple of tries are from some handy work on the inside by Scott Drinkwater, who's been outstanding for us. And it was good to set Eags up for his first Queensland Cup try. Yeah, very good, mate. Look, a good win today on the back of that win last week over Wynnum. You know, that'll probably, for the moment, catapult you up into the, or near to that top 6 where obviously you need to be. So all the best for the upcoming games. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Jared McAnally, the Tigers skipper, with Gavin Payne, a former Tigers skipper and captain and coach, I should say. So tremendous work to hear from Jared, and he'd be very pleased to lead that side tonight.
There must be something in these wingers captaining. You forecasted this afternoon. You said what a masterstroke it was, and I got to admit, it's hard for me to say it, but it proved that way.
Yes, I did feel before the game, I can remember being on the right wing, and when the referee blew a penalty on the left wing, and the team would all look to the far side once when I was captain, and I was pointing to the post, but they thought I was pointing to the sideline. So it doesn't always work out smoothly. But
did you end up scoring the try? Or
well, I can't remember, but I'll say we did.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, no, well done to Jared McAnally, and you know, we mentioned before the game some of the players that have not been available this season. A fair bit of experience is out of the side. And yeah, the Tigers, their season is turning around now.
Yeah.
Hopefully they haven't left their run too late, but I think they have got time still to make the finals. In fact, I'm sure they've got time to make the finals if they're good enough.
Yeah, and I think a couple of things, well, a number of things stood out today, and we've mentioned them during the run. I think Matt Great is a great addition into that side. He came back about 3 or 4 weeks ago after a long time out with injury. He's a big, strong guy. He'll just get better and better as the season goes on. I think that's probably the best game I've seen him play so far this year. You can tell he's very effective in what he does. He's just going to keep doing more and more, and I think that'll be a big plus for the Tigers. And then we mentioned a number of times in the call, Warren, and you said that it's not the first week they have done it, but Billy Walters to dummy half was certainly a very effective ploy, and it allowed them to spark their attack, and it was sparkling.
And just looking at, you know, the side and the guys we haven't spoken about, Ollie Olds, I thought, particularly in the first half, really effective playing as 5'8". Yep. On the left-hand side, he was one of those guys shifting the ball from right to left very, very well to the wingers. It was sharp, it was pinpoint, and I think he could be pleased with his effort out there today. Chris Ostwald, I thought, was very good when he came on, played dummy half,
yep.
Allowed Billy Walters to go back to 5'8", particularly from that period late in the first half and through much of the second. I thought he did a good job, but dummy half. Ash Little really added punch to the play.
Yep.
I mean, he was getting over that advantage line, quick play the ball.
As we mentioned, Ione is a very good and big man coming off the bench. So don't lose anything. It's so important for your bench to really give you that extra bit of thrust. Coming back to Ollie Oles, I mean, he's a Welsh international, and he's been out and played in the Intrust Super Cup for a number of years. He played with the Magpies and at least might have been Ipswich as well. Yeah. So he's familiar with the game.
And before that, the Leeds Rhinos.
That's right. So he's a very handy player, Ollie Oles. So he's really impressed me. Yeah.
All right. Now, just quickly before we go, David, State of Origin. 2 sides, 11 debutants for New South Wales, plenty of new faces in the Queensland team. At the end of the day, it's not whether they're new players, it's whether they play well. To be honest, from everything I've heard, anyone who supports New South Wales thinks New South Wales is going to win. Everyone who supports Queensland thinks Queensland's going to win. I haven't heard one person, expert, former player from either camp tip the opposition team. Is there no common sense at all in the tipping of State of Origin?
Well, let me ask you this. Who are you going to pick, Warren? Because I'm going for Queensland, so we don't want to break the mould, do we?
I'm born and bred. I've got to go for the Blues.
Yeah, exactly. But you're right. There is. I mean, that's one of the great things about State of Origin is the parochialism of it, isn't it? And really, when you look at it, I often like to get, coming up to these big matches, get both sides and say, okay, if you picked the best side out of the 34 players, who would make the side? It's almost 50-50. It's like 9 and 8 if you took the whole squad when I have a look at it. So for this year, and I think that's why you've got so much parochialism. Like I think in previous years with that dominance of the Queensland have had, even some New South Welshmen say, oh, well, how are we going to beat Queensland with all these once in a lifetime players? Well, this year it really looks pretty even on paper. I think it should be a terrific game. I'm expecting Billy Slater to have a huge game. We know how much he talks from the back. He's so good at that. But that is going to be so much more important this year with a less experienced side. His direction and talk from the back will be excellent. You can expect Inglis, as plenty of people have said, to lift. Be interesting around the halves. Ben Hunt, who's been carrying that cork for most of this week, cleared to play. He's a good player. He's had such a good year this year. I just think he's played so well this year because of the great foil that who's the Pommy 5'8", Widdop. Widdop gives him at St George. Whether he can repeat that form without Widdop, because Munster's a different sort of player. Very important that obviously he does. He could win it for you, for Hunt, but he needs to play really well. I'm happy with the Queensland forwards. I think we can hold our own there. And New South Wales, as I say, they've gone for speed and a lot of youth. But I liked Craig Bellamy's comment yesterday or on the weekend at a sporting function or a luncheon. He said, really, when you look at New South Wales, they've gone out all-out attack. It really doesn't jump out as a defensive side. So that's a bit of a gamble in State of Origin. But the one big hope I've got, Warren, is they just let the referees let the game flow. If we've got this punctuated by fastidious, pedantic penalties, then it's going to spoil what is always a masterpiece of rugby league. Yeah. So let it flow, please.
Wholeheartedly agree. I mean, what's been happening in the NRL, do not let it apply to State of Origin.
No way.
Let the players win and lose it. No. All right, look, that's it for us from Suzuki Stadium tonight. A great win for the East Tigers, 30 points to 12. They've scored 84 points in 2 weeks. They're back on track, the Tigers, and we look forward to the next time we join you on Tiger TV here at Suzuki Stadium. All the best. Enjoy the State of Origin, and let's see how the Tigers go from here.